What is that?
That's fire.
Yeah. Fire guy. In the building. Yeah. Hey, turn the heat up. Fire guy in the building. Walking clean, whole room get hotter. Chain got frost, but the soul got lava. Everybody chill when I step in proper. Real ones close, fake boys scatter. I don't do noise, I move like silence. Still got flames when the mood turn violent. Whole squad eat, everybody thriving. But text my name and the smoke is rising. Late night drives with the city glowing. Heavy bass while the windows open. People talk but they never know him. Fire in his chest, not a hole or smoking. I keep it lit for the ones that doubt it.
Step into the end zone, let the vibes collide. Sports, wrestling, and the grind of life combined. Yo, King N.P.V, take the mic. It's time. Yeah, yeah. And one where the ball hits net, the crowd ignites, chasing big dreams under Monday night lights. Elbow drops and figure four, chaos in the ring. Body slams echo, we feel every sting. Positivity, yo, we shine in the grind. A place to kick back, no weight on your mind. Pound for pound, no holding back. Whether courtside views or steel cage crack. In the end zone, feel the roar. Sports, wrestling vibes, and so much more. The king speaks truth, the energy soars. Lift your mind up, let your spirit explore. And one, yeah, the name's on blast. Two, and see how long it lasts. Sports passion, it's all a mask. King N.P, keep the mic steadfast.
Fact that my beloved Arsenal, God bless them, finally after 22 years have won the English Premier League. Ladies and gentlemen, the amount of agony as an Arsenal fan that I've gone through. Obviously, the 2006 Champions League loss against FC Barcelona, again, another team that I am very passionate about. A team that actually got the great legendary Titi Henry his Champions League ring that he deserves. His Champions League medal, not ring, excuse me, pardon me. And then multiple years, 4 years in a row, being runners-up to Man City, Liverpool, and multiple other teams. Just the grind. And this year, with the addition of Victor Gyökeres, with the addition of Ebery Chieze, the depth that we've had, Noni Madueke actually coming into his own, just the depth that Arsenal has had this year has just been tremendous. When the likes of Saka, Odegaard, at one point Declan Rice was injured, Kai Havertz has been gone for a long period of time. Just the adversity that they faced, but they always had the depth this year. And actually, I'm going to share a brief clip of why I thought it was crucial and paramount that Arsenal go after Victor Gyökeres when they were pursuing a striker this past offseason. This is a video from 11 months ago. This is actually a clip that I shot for anyone from the end zone. This happened 11 months ago. Victor Gyökeres, it was between Victor Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko, and these were the reasons why I preferred Victor Gyökeres over Benjamin Sesko, who was our leading scorer in the Premier League, who at times, even though the team or Arteta didn't necessarily believe in him, he didn't let that stir him. He didn't let that necessarily keep him down. His pace, his performance, his consistency, his intensity when he's on the field, you can feel it. And that's why I'm excited to see what we can do now heading into the Champions League. But here, let's go check out this brief clip of why I thought we should have gotten Victor Gyökeres. Now, Gyökeres
in 52 games for Sporting CP, scored, I believe, 54 goals, 13 assists, and 6 UEFA Champions League goals. So he's proven it in Europe that he can score goals. And he is a consistent finisher, something that Arsenal desperately need. And if we don't pull this move for Gyökeres off, and if we fail to win the Premier League or win a trophy next year, because this is getting stressful in my opinion. Yes, we make European football every year again. We weren't able to do that after Arsene left, but we've hit a plateau. We need a coach like Carlo Ancelotti, like Luis Enrique, like Pep Guardiola, who this past season for Manchester City didn't have the greatest of seasons, but if he does decide to leave Manchester City, go after him, offer him everything. But we need a coach like that. We don't need to bring in a rookie. Or yes, I appreciate.
Now, before I continue this clip, I'm happy to say, ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong. I didn't think Arteta was the man for the job. 4 years in a row, we were runner-up. And Pep Guardiola, he is on his way out of Manchester City this year, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the season. They had an opportunity in this season, Manchester City, even though they beat us a couple of weeks ago, they choked at the end. Maybe Pep's influence isn't as strong as it used to be in Man City. However, Pep is still a tremendous and phenomenal coach. With all that being said, Mikel Arteta, the way he's led this team through adversity, I will say he has earned my respect greatly. Even if we don't win the Champions League, Mikel Arteta has given us one of our best seasons in my lifetime and in recent history, in the history of Arsenal. Obviously, it's not like the domestic treble that Arsene won in his time with the team, but still, this is a crucial time for my beloved Arsenal, and I'm just very excited. I am just astonished and just very, oh my God, you guys don't even know. I was crying tears of joy when they hit the 96th minute in the Bournemouth versus Man City game today. I was crying because I was so nervous, and once that final whistle hit, I was on my knees thanking God for allowing me to see my beloved Arsenal finally win a Premier League title after so many years of pain. And I was right about Victor Gyökeres. We got Victor Gyökeres, and we won a Premier League title. He was our leading scorer by double the amount of goals than Saka, who was injured, even though Saka might have actually challenged him for that title this year. And he was 7 goals better than Eberechi Eze, who's been relatively healthy this season. By the way, I wish I would have done a video on Eberechi, because Eze has been incredible for Arsenal since we've acquired him. He has been consistent. His playmaking ability is amazing, and he is just the perfect addition and a perfect player to match up with either Kai Havertz, Gyökeres, Gabriel Jesus, who's out there. You put Martinelli out there, Declan Rice with his playmaking ability. I didn't think Zubamendi was actually going to cut it. I did not believe Zubamendi was going to cut it, but Zubamendi has also been incredible. Odegaard went down. The team did not stir. They just kept consistent, and our defense is stellar. David Raya has been incredible, and God, thank you so much. We are celebrating today, or I'm celebrating tonight, my beloved Arsenal being able to win a Premier League after so many years. And now what's next is the Champions League. Right now, Dembele's injured. Arsenal is relatively healthy going into the Champions League. They don't necessarily have to play all their starters against Crystal Palace. They can afford to rest a bunch of guys, play a lot of young talent in that game. Now that we are officially the Premier League champions, and then just focus on that Champions League game against PSG. Study their tactics. Because Luis Enrique, he has a style of tiki-taka that he's taken to PSG in the way that they play. They are a unit. They are a great team out there. And they are the reigning Champions League defenders. And they've gotten back to the finals because they are just consistently incredible. Dembele is still a phenomenal performer. Doué has also been on par. But the fact that Dembele is injured, that leaves a lot to be desired, and that's literally the not the glimmer of hope, but that is necessarily something that Arsenal should really consider, and that could be an opening for us to really take the attack away from PSG and hopefully give our strikers, our front three, the ability to go and attack. Whether it be Saka, Eze, and Gyökeres, or Saka, I hope it's not Kai. With all due respect to Kai, Gyökeres deserves to be out there. His intensity, his vigor. He's a European striker, and I know Gyökeres will get us the goal against PSG. I have a lot of faith, and I have a lot of belief. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on a brief ad break, and we're going to talk about the return of Brock Lesnar, who recently F5'd Obafemi. We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome to Shady Ma Productions, where the vibes are always right and the passion runs deep.
Step into the sports network of N1 from the End Zone. Sit down for unfiltered conversations on Port City Uncensored and surf the sound waves with Sonic Waves.
Different worlds, different shows. Click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it.
Join us every Saturday and don't miss the waves.
Watch what you listen to. Listen to me, it's Sonic Wave.
Port City Uncensored. Port City Uncensored. Port City Uncensored!
Listen up, dog owners. Every month, BarkBox delivers 2 brand new toys that will make your dog lose their mind, plus 2 full-size bags of treats so healthy you'll be tempted to steal one yourself. Trusted by over 8 million dogs who have literally never written a bad review. We're talking fully customized, tiny terror toys for Chihuahuas, indestructible beasts for your Rottie, allergy-friendly snacks for the drama queens with sensitive tummies. Even extra subscriber-only goodies if you want to go full spoiled. Right now, new subscribers get a free extra toy in every box for a whole year, and shipping is forever free. So stop letting your dog down and click the link in the description or scan that beautiful QR code and get your first BarkBox today. BarkBox, because your dog deserves better.
If you're in the San Francisco Bay Area and want the best cut of your life, go check out Headspins Barbershop, located in South San Francisco, the official barbershop of N1 from the End Zone.
You're watching the latest episode of N1 from the End Zone. Please click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it.
Hey, I have an idea. Why don't we play rock, paper, scissors, and whoever loses goes in first?
Ooh,
okay.
all right, I'm in.
Ready?
I win. What is that? That's fire.
Yeah. Fire guy in the building. Yeah. Hey, turn the heat up. Fire guy in the building. Walking clean, whole room get hotter. Chain got frost, but the soul got lava. Everybody chill when I step in proper. Real ones close, fake boys scatter. I don't do noise, I move like silence. Still got flames when the mood turn violent. Whole squad eat, everybody thriving. But text my name and the smoke is rising. Late night drives with the city glowing. Heavy bass while the windows open. People talk but they never know him. Fire in his chest, not a hole while smoking. I keep it lit for the ones that doubt it. Built from pain, now the crowd stay shouting. Good vibes only when the team around me. Cross that line and the flames surround you. Fire guy, yeah, I make the whole place ignite. Everybody feeling alright. Just somebody wanna cross that line. Fire guy, whole city know what I'm like. Warm hearts but the touch too bright. Get too close, you get burned tonight. Ay, pressure on me but I never fold. Heart too warm, wrist too cold. They throw shade but the fire too bold. Now they watch while the story unfolds. I gave light when the nights got dark. Now my name got stamped in sparks. I've been real from the very start. Still move careful when the envy starts. See the glow when I walk through places. Too much heat, now they switching faces. Love me now cause I cracked the matrix. But disrespect turn calm to dangerous. Don't mistake peaceful weakness. Flames get loud when the heat is deepest. I made everybody feel alive. Now they shocked when the fire fights back. Fire God, yeah, I make the whole place ignite. Everybody feeling alright. Till somebody wanna cross that line. Fire God, whole city know what I'm like. Good energy mixed with with fire inside. Get too close, you get burned tonight. Still lit. Still rising. Fire guy.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That song is called Fire Guy, created by Double A. He is going to be posting it on A&A Radio. I know it's a tongue twister. Double A, A&A Radio, all this shit. But yeah, my boy, my partner in crime for the last 20 plus years, created a fucking beautiful banger called Fire Guy, inspired by Iceman, and go check it out on Sonic Waves right now. We haven't officially dropped the video, but it'll be on A&A Radio, and go give it a follow, ladies and gentlemen. Also, now, let's get into Clash in Italy, more specifically the return of Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw. This actually happened while we were doing a live stream for Shady My Podcast yesterday, reviewing the Rush Hour trilogy, giving you reactions to the Lanterns, HBO Max series, Stuart Fails to Save the Universe, and a bunch of other stuff. Go check that episode out. We literally did that yesterday, but today, actually, it happened right while I was watching Monday Night Raw too, because your boy is a WWE fan. I gotta admit it. Your boy is a WWE fan. No offense to AEW or TNA or any other promotion out there. I just don't have a lot of time to really follow wrestling like I used to when I was younger. And WWE has always given me great content, not necessarily great. There's been times where I've disputed or been very irritated at the direction that they've been going, but just because I know the company, I've been with them, and realistically, I'm not really interested in really deep diving into like the other bigger promotions. I'd rather just deep dive into independent wrestling like I've been doing recently with a TWF wrestling match that they did this past Saturday. We'll be actually sharing some clips on Port City Uncensored, and hopefully here on the next episode of N1 from the End Zone of all the matches that went out there. It was a great fucking time. Go check it out. Shout out to TWF out here in Stockton, the California Valley, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we're from. That's where we're at. Shout out to TWF. But anyway, back to this. Brock Lesnar seemed like he retired at WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. However, he returned yesterday at Monday Night Raw to F5 Obafemi, and honestly, because it looks like WWE Creative does not have a direction for Obafemi right now, they just basically called him up because they did a plethora of releases recently, and they honestly... They probably did the right thing. They have to bring up the new blood. Obafemi is one of the top talents that they've developed from day one. He lost, I think, his first 5 televised matches, and now he is the monster that he is. They're obviously giving him open challenges, and just because they're giving him open challenges doesn't necessarily mean it's going in the right direction. They did the same thing with Braun Strowman. I don't know if you guys remember it. Braun Strowman, like 10 years ago. Same thing with Rusev, where they did these open challenges, fed them a bunch of talented workers, because I'm not going to use a derogatory term over here of the derogatory J word, as I have a lot of respect for all these wrestlers, especially because a lot of these workers, the amount of pain they put their body through in the indie circuit, guys. I really do recommend you go check out an independent wrestling show wherever you're at. It's an incredible time. It's an incredible vibe. A lot of fucking... It's just way more intense, way more gritty. And if you saw the levels that these people put their bodies through just to get like a 5-second 10-minute, 2-minute like TV spot with WWE or AEW or wherever they go, like, you would have a tremendous amount of respect for these people. Anyway, because they didn't have a direction for Oba, I genuinely believe Brock Lesnar retired at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar hung up his boots. He fucking cried. Brock Lesnar does not cry for no fucking reason. He cried. He cried on his way out. And the one thing that we all know about Brock Lesnar is that when the money comes, when the paycheck is high, Brock Lesnar will come back for WWE whenever they want him to come back. And that's honestly what I'm assuming that they did. Because the ratings are very high when Brock Lesnar returns. They probably cut him a fat check just to come back, face off against Obafemi at Clash in Italy. He's probably going to get the win against Obafemi and Clash in Italy, which I'm genuinely hoping happens, so they can set up a third match at SummerSlam where it's a retirement match between Ova and Brock, and that's where Brock Lesnar officially retires. If I'm not mistaken, Brock made his debut on SmackDown or Monday Night Raw around SummerSlam about 24 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, back in 2002 with Paul Heyman. So the fact that Brock is back, it's incredible. I'm genuinely happy. Paul Heyman, when he did the whole put Brock in the forever section, he was always pointing to Brock Lesnar not necessarily being retired. At that point in time, I genuinely do believe Brock retired, and he was probably in negotiations for a return, and WWE probably offered him the money that he wanted, and that's why we have Brock Lesnar back. And I think this rivalry between Oba and Brock is going to be incredible. I think this should be used to catapult Obafemi to the next level that he could probably ascend to. I don't see why he shouldn't be put in the title picture right off the bat. He's got the build. I understand he hasn't been on the main roster, but if you followed NXT, if you're a WWE diehard, you know about Obafemi and you know what he brings to the table. He has the aura, he has the athletic ability, and he has the look. He has the look of a champion. I understand they got guys like Roman Reigns right now and Cody Rhodes essentially carrying the company. Still CM Punk, Seth Rollins is still there, but Braun Breaker and Obafemi are the two horses that I personally hitch my wagon to. I know they have Trick Williams, who they sent to TNA, NXT, really build those brands up and everything, but for me, it's more about Obafemi being the monster that he can be, really carrying the company for the next 20 years, because Oba is super young still. Oba was a part of the WWE NIL program, and they built this man. If you ever think that I genuinely believe Obafemi will be a WWE lifer. I don't think he'll go anywhere. Braun Breaker, 50-50 on if he'll be a WWE lifer, but he's also another basically WWE pedigree star that they've invested a lot in, and if he can find the same aura that he had when he was down in NXT on the mic, he'll be fine. I just don't like what they're doing with him on the main roster, which also leads to the whole Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Vision rivalry. Hopefully this will catapult Braun into a point where he'll actually challenge for the world title, dethroning either Roman or Jacob. I really hope Jacob Fatu wins the Tribal Combat in Clash in Italy. However, I could see the Bloodline getting involved and ultimately doing what they did with Jey Uso a few years ago in Tribal Combat, and Roman ultimately defeating Jacob Fatu. But that's neither the here nor there. But yeah. Sorry, I've gone all over the place. It's just a lot. I've been following WWE, but I haven't been following WWE. I'm mainly just getting it all out there for you guys, and I hope you're enjoying this. It's just really great to be back on the air on N1 from the End Zone, because I've been trying to do an episode for months, and usually my WWE content does really well, and I just bring a lot of energy. I'm gonna try to do watch part, like the live reactions when the lives are going on, like I used to do. I gotta work it into my schedule so I can properly do it and set it up and give you, because my reactions are incredible. You guys gotta tune in for those. But yeah, Brock should win at Clash in Italy, then Oba should retire Brock at SummerSlam, and then catapult Oba into bigger and better things. Maybe it's not the world title scene. I don't see why they can't put the Intercontinental title on him. Him being the one to dethrone Penta and really elevating that title more than it currently is being elevated by Penta, and because Penta's been doing an incredible job representing the Intercontinental title, but I feel like Oba would just ascend that title to greater heights. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after these messages.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a honky-tonk mouse pit. Yeah, Backrode. Strobe light. Yeah. Boots on the floor, dust on the door. Snapback low, but the chain say tour. Red cup, chrome truck, park crooked in a line. Farm road shaking like a Friday state line. Tailgate thrown, I'm the hometown mayor. Whole crew packed, every rebel, every prayer. Got a tan line ring from a long gone fling, but tonight I'm single and the band gon' swing. We got Backrode, strobe light, barnyard bass, cowboy hats in your pretty little face. Diesel and perfume, sweat in the air. Country boy swagger in a club tight glare. Turn that moon to a spotlight. Let that dirt feel like midnight. If you came to get loud, better hold on tight. This a honky-tonk mosh pit, Backrode, strobe light. Backrode, strobe light. Yeah. Jumbo cooler, full of bad decisions. Longhorn buckle on a big bone rhythm. Tattoo peeking from your cutout sleeve. You said I hate rap, but you danced in your leave. Shotgun seat, got the best view, sugar. Used to drive slow, but I stomp that footer. Engine talk tough like my drawl on a track. Got a heart like gravel and it still beats fast. We got Backrode, strobe lights, barnyard bass, cowboy hats in your pretty little face. Diesel and perfume, sweat in the air. Country boy swagger in a club tight glare. Turn that moon to a spotlight. Let that dirt feel like midnight. If you came to get loud, better hold on tight. This a honky-tonk mosh pit, Backrode, strobe light. Two-step, then you drop low. Line dance and a light show. Boot print on the bar stool. We rowdy, but we still cool. You from the city, I'm from a field, but that wild in your eyes feel country for real. We got Backrode, strobe light, barnyard bass, cowboy hats in your pretty little face. Diesel and perfume, sweat in the air. Country boy swagger in a club tight glare. Turn that moon to a spotlight. Let that dirt feel like midnight. If you came to get loud, better hold on tight. This a honky-tonk mosh pit, Backrode, strobe lights. Backrode, strobe lights.
Welcome to Shady Mob Productions, where the vibes are always right and the passion runs deep.
Step into the sports network of N1 from the End Zone. Sit down for unfiltered conversations on Port City Uncensored and surf the sound waves with sonic waves.
Different worlds, different shows. Click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it. Guys, if you're into sports, wrestling, or just need some positivity and motivation, check out N1 from the End Zone and click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.
If you're in the San Francisco Bay Area and want the best cut of your life, go check out Headspins Barbershop, located in South San Francisco, the official barbershop of N1 from the End Zone.
Join us every Saturday and don't miss the waves.
Sonic waves. Watch what you listen to. Listen to me. It's Sonic waves.
Port City Uncensored. Port City Uncensored. Port City Uncensored!
Listen up, dog owners. Every month, BarkBox delivers 2 brand new toys that will make your dog lose their mind, plus 2 full-size bags of treats so healthy you'll be tempted to steal one yourself. Trusted by over 8 million dogs who have literally never written a bad review. We're talking fully customized, tiny terror toys for Chihuahuas, indestructible beasts for your Rottie, allergy-friendly snacks for the drama queens with sensitive tummies. Even extra subscriber-only goodies if you want to go full spoiled. Right now, new subscribers get a free extra toy in every box for a whole year, and shipping is forever free. So stop letting your dog down and click the link in the description or scan that beautiful QR code and get your first BarkBox today. BarkBox, because your dog deserves better.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. For this, we are back. So I'm actually going to be talking. Sorry, I'm a little bit flustered. I couldn't find what I was looking for. What we're going to be talking about, or what I'm going to be doing here live right now, is a breakdown on my beloved 49ers 2026 NFL schedule. Now, I know there's been a lot of controversy around our draft this past year, how a lot of people think that we've actually reached, when in reality, the way that I see it, because realistically in the last few years, maybe not offensively, but defensively, we've done a tremendous job in the draft, replenishing after losing players like Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, who is now coming back. We just traded away D. Winters. And we've been doing a lot of patchwork, and we've still been relatively competitive, other than when Brock went out and we didn't have a viable backup. Last year we had Mac Jones, who did a fucking phenomenal job, who I think this year, even if Brock goes out, Mac Jones could essentially lead us to the promised land. There's a reason why the Niners have not traded Mac Jones. So with all that being said, I am more optimistic than a lot of the national media and a lot of the naysayers out there, okay? Realistically, I do believe that we will essentially make the playoffs and potentially make a run if we can stay relatively healthy. Now, obviously, George Kittle is coming back from his injury. Nick Bosa is coming back from his injury. Fred Warner is coming back. So we have a lot of key pieces that are all coming back from their injuries who are essentially older, especially now that we've added Mike Evans and Christian Kirk, who are older wide receivers, who are very well-established wide receivers, mind you, but they are a bit older, especially Mike Evans, who's coming off a season-ending not season-ending because he did come back and play, but he tore his ACL, I believe, last year, and he had to come back and battle through all that, and he was a free agent, and we swept him up. With that being said, Mike Evans is probably the best wide receiver Brock Purdy has ever played with in his NFL career. Even at this point in his career, Mike Evans, in my opinion, is better than Deebo Samuel in his prime, who we used as a gadget guy, and way better than Brandon Ayuk, who at one point was a top 10 wide receiver. Mike Evans in his career has stayed consistently as in the top 5 of wide receiver discussions, at least in my personal opinion. So, with all those things being said, let's get into this deep dive of my 49ers. So we're actually going to start off, before we get into the schedule, we're going to check in on the George Kittle injury that happened, I believe, that happened at, what was it, in the playoff game against Green Bay? Was it Green Bay that we played in the playoffs this year? Who did we play in the playoffs? Well, he got injured in that playoff game, and when we went up to Seattle, I was really hoping Brock was going to pull it out of his ass, and he couldn't. Brock couldn't. I saw him do it a couple years ago when we made that Super Bowl run where we were down against Detroit, when we were down against Green Bay, and he really mounted that comeback, leading us into the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Sadly, we couldn't close the deal. However, I still think Brock is the guy, has that clutch gene in him to be able to guide us into where we need to be. Now, here is who should we go to? So let's look at I don't know any of those news sources, and I'm not going to use news sources that I don't know. Here is a 3-week-old article from 49ers Web Zone, and I trust 49ers Web Zone because they are basically just tied into the 49ers organization. They have very good insiders that basically, in my honest opinion, report a lot of factual news regarding the team. So Let's start off by reading the article. The San Francisco 49ers were without star tight end George Kittle for their divisional round playoff match against the Seattle Seahawks. Kittle suffered a torn Achilles the week prior during the wild card round, initially sparking concern that he could miss a significant portion of the 2026 season. However, Kittle later clarified that the injury was a high Achilles tear, something he described as a best-case scenario given the circumstances. The All-Pro tight end is now optimistic about the earlier than expected return, noting that the tear was clean and located in a more favorable area, which should help reduce his recovery timeline. Kittle recently appeared on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, where he shared encouraging progress in his rehab, noting that he is out of the walking boot and is only occasionally using crutches to get around. It's coming along, Kittle said. The rehab is going great. He added, my trajectory is fantastic. I think I get off crutches in like a week or two. Kittle also revealed he immediately knew the injury was serious. After going down against the Philadelphia Eagles, fullback Kyle Juszczyk approached him only for Kittle to respond, get me a cart. I'm not walking this one off, bud. Damn. Actually, how could I forget that it was against the darn Eagles that we faced off in the wild card round this year. You know why? Because I had a bet with my buddy, the owner of Smacks TTV, who is exclusively on Twitch, who is also affiliated with the Shady Mob production company. My boy owes me money from that Eagles matchup. He still hasn't paid me. Smacksy, I'm calling you out, boy. You owe me. All right, let's get back into it, baby. The veteran tight end believes a prior injury may have contributed to the bigger setback. My biggest thing that I thought was when I played the Colts on Monday Night Football in Week 16, I tore like 2 ligaments in my ankle, Kittle explained. And then it hurt again because I kept playing on it. And so then I was very lopsided or I was compensating really bad. See, that's what happens. So I think excuse me. So I think that was a big part of it too. I was compensating for the last 3 weeks on one ankle, so all the weight was on my right side, and when I was basically running, everything was on my right side, then plus it was a weird position. While the injury initially appeared devastating, Kittle's latest update offers optimism that he could still be a key contributor for much of the 2026 season. Now, with that being said, I think it might be likely that Kittle comes back week 5. I think he'll be back before the bye. I don't think he'll be back for the Rams game. I don't think he'll be back for the Rams game. Who was our backup tight end last year? Why am I blanking out on names? Like, I'm so sorry. I've been so disconnected from like everything NFL for the last 6 months due to work that I'm just trying to remember. But our backup last year, I forget his name, but he did an incredible job. Tonjes. How could I forget Tonjes? Tonjes was playing at an all-pro level fucking last year. He should have been a Pro Bowler if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Tonjes really stepped up. I believe Tonjes is still on the roster this year if I'm not mistaken. He's still his backup. Tonjes is a phenomenal fucking tight end. And his chemistry, I know it was mainly with Mac, but I think he can establish that same chemistry with Brock. And Tonjes can step it up. Realistically, I think George comes back the week after the Dolphins game when we play the Arizona Cardinals because that's a home game. He's not going to Melbourne, Australia. He's not going to be there against the Rams. There would be no point for him to play against the Rams. It's week 1. A lot of things could go sideways in week 1. George should not play week 1. Dolphins, we're playing at Levi's. Could he come back for that game? Maybe. We're playing Malik Willis, who's now their starter, against also a new coach. Miami still ought to be determined. Arizona Cardinals against, Jacoby Brissett and Mike LaFleur, a guy that knows our system, who was, I believe he was our offensive coordinator. Then he went to the Jets. And became their offensive coordinator, and then the last few years I think he was in Green Bay and then LA, and now he's gotten his opportunity to be a head coach. I was saying he should have been a head coach after his the first couple of seasons that he had with the Jets when Robert Saleh was the head coach, because he did it with duct tape and Zach Wilson and nobodies out there. He did a phenomenal job getting that team 7 to 8 wins when they had absolutely nothing on offense, or not a true leader at quarterback, in my honest opinion. I think he comes back for that game. I think he'll be back by week 3. And that's just me being completely optimistic here, ladies and gentlemen. That's just me being completely optimistic. Brock, I just need Brock to stay healthy. Realistically, I think we can win in Melbourne, Australia, week 1 without George. If Nick and Fred are both available for week 1, I think at this point, it's highly likely both of them are going to be back. They've basically had in... they're basically done with the rehabbing process. I think they're basically done. They're still probably doing some light work, but I'm pretty sure they'll be there for the opening day of training camp. They're gonna be there for preseason, and they're gonna be ready to go by week 1. In my honest opinion, with the advancements in medicine, medication, and treatment, there is no reason why Fred and Nick aren't available for week 1. Defensively, defensively, this is also another thing. I know there's been a lot of criticism, there's been a lot of credit given to Robert Saleh for what he did with our defense last year with a bunch of no-name talent. Yeah, we were missing Fred. Yeah, we were missing our first-round pick, Mikael Williams. We were missing Nick Bosa. But our secondary was solid. Jair Brown, Mustafa Ali. What's his first name? I'm so sorry. I keep blanking out on names. But Jair Brown, Mustafa, Renardo Green, Diamador Lenore, Upton Stout, who was a rookie. Our secondary is pretty solid. D. Winters was literally the guy for a cool minute, and then we got Bethune. Bethune was a 7th round pick, and he's developed, ladies and gentlemen, and I think he's going to perform tremendously again this year if they need to utilize him. I think our defense is solid. John Lynch knows what he's doing when he's drafting defensive players, and the fact that a lot of people think he reached this year for a bunch of offensive talent, it's because realistically, under Kyle Shanahan's system, he needs to develop these guys. They need to learn how to play for Kyle. They need to learn the system, and then they'll be given their opportunities. Considering how injury-prone CMC has been over the last few years, thankfully last year he wasn't injured, but we can't rely on that same workload for CMC. I thought Isaac Guarendo was going to be able to take a step up. He didn't, sadly. It's just, we'll actually take a quick look at the roster here in a second. It's just, we need all the depth we can get on offense, especially with how old our key offensive players are. With George Kittle, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk. These guys are damn near 30 or in their 30s for the most part, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, let's take a quick look at the team roster really briefly. So, when we go at the depth chart, they have not released the depth chart, but let's look at the roster. So Brandon Ayuk, that situation with Brandon Ayuk I think is funny because the Niners do not want to release him. They're not going to pay him for anything. He's just there. They could renegotiate a contract with him, but the Niners know Brandon wants to go to Washington. The way Brandon has handled his business recently hasn't necessarily been completely coherent. And it's leaving a lot of people questioning what's going on. So, Brandon, I wish you the best. Thank you for being a part of I think he was a part of 2 Super Bowl runs with the 49ers. Was it 2? Was he a part of both of those? I think he was. I'm pretty sure he was a part of both of those. I know we had one where Debo was a rookie, and then we had another one with Brandon. Did we go to 3? Have we lost 3 Super Bowls under Kyle Shanahan? Or am I adding one? Damn. I think we've lost 3 Super Bowls in my lifetime. It's just sad. I've never seen my beloved 49ers win a goddamn Super Bowl. Oh, my God. This is our year, baby. This is our year. I got to stay faithful. But, Brandon, thank you for your service. I hope whatever you do, you find your happiness. Isaac Alarcon, did he make the roster last year? I think he was a backup. Evan Anderson, Eli Apple. Eli Apple, he's been in the league for a minute. Evan Anderson, I don't believe is going to be a large contributor. He's more there for depth. Junior Bergen, how old are you, Junior? Oh, Junior Bergen. I think this is going to be his first year. He's a rookie this year. So he's a wide receiver. Yeah, he's a wide receiver for the Niners. 5'9". He's probably going to be a slot guy. Again, Kyle demands a lot from his slot guys. He expects you to go out there, block, get physical, and find the route, get open, and catch the ball. If Junior Bergen can do that, Junior Bergen will have a long, healthy career with Kyle in the 49ers offense. And maybe he could be potentially the next Trent Taylor. We got Tatum Bethune, who I think in year 3 is going to take a step forward. He is a player who last year got a lot of reps. Even though he was injured, he was also a key part in that defense for the 49ers. And this year, alongside Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, I think they're going to be solid. Same thing with Alfred Collins, who's down here. Alfred Collins in D-line last year, ladies and gentlemen, he was a solid defensive lineman in the absence of Nick Bosa and Malachi Williams. In my honest opinion, if you rotate the 3 of them, or if you put all 3 of them on that same defensive line together, the things that they will be able to do this year are going to be incredible. Alfred Collins got the experience. Malik Williams has to learn, has to develop, and I think he'll have the opportunity to do that with a lot of the pressure going to Alfred and Nick Bosa on the defensive side on the defensive side of the ball. The pressure's going to be coming from them, which is probably going to allow either Alfred or Mikael Williams to sack the quarterback, to do just a lot of loss of yardage plays. That's what I'm looking for. I still got Jake Brendel, who is 33 years old. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Has been a key component to the Niners offensive line for, I think, the last 2 or 3 years, consistently being there. Not necessarily a player that gets injured a lot. He's been a phenomenal piece, but now that he's 33 years old, age, and especially at the offensive line position, it's a car crash every time you go out there. Jair Brown, 4th year in the league. You guys know how I feel about Jair Brown. I've been saying this for, I think, the last, 3 years? This is his 4th year in the league now. He's solid. I thought Jair Brown pairing him up after Jimmy left with Talanoa Hufanga was going to be fucking crucial. They were going to be fucking incredible. But realistically, Jair Brown pairing him up with Malik Mustafa, they're doing their shit. Excuse my French, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing on that secondary. And now that they have that chemistry together, now that they have that trust together, I think we're going to be solid at the safety position with both Jair and Malik Mustafa. I'm pretty sure Malik is going to be the starter this year, if I'm not mistaken. Derek Canteen, he's a rookie. He's going to develop. This is a player that Raheem can mold into what he wants him to be. If he's given an opportunity to start, he could be an incredible player for the Niners. Connor Colby, he's a backup. He got a few reps last year with the injury-plagued offensive line at some points. But Connor Colby doing what he does. They're keeping him there. He has chemistry with Brock because they both, I think, played for the same Iowa team. So Connor, actually no, Brock's been in the league for 5 years now. Never mind. Connor, I don't think, played with Brock at Iowa. Alfred Collins, you know how I feel like. Now, the one that's actually been very disappointing to me is a guy that I genuinely thought was going to be the slot gadget guy, and that was Jacob Cowing. He had a lot of great reps in college. I thought he was actually going to be I thought he was gonna be the next Juwan Jennings, the next Trent Taylor, like taking over that slot position. He was fast. He could catch the ball in multiple different angles. Dude just hasn't been healthy. Dude has not been able to pick up the playbook apparently, and he just hasn't had an opportunity to show what he can actually do out on the field. I thought Jacob Cowing was gonna be that guy, and 3 years into his career, he leaves a lot to be desired. Mike Evans is now Mike Evans, our new number 5. He is the best wide receiver that Brock Purdy has ever played with in his career. He's coming off an ACL injury. This is year 13 for him. Mike Evans, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Brock can do. Hopefully they can establish chemistry, and hopefully Mike Evans can stay healthy. Now, I know a lot of people are saying that the Niners shouldn't be playing or should be careful playing because like they're next to like I think a power plant or whatever, and the team has come back and disputed that they've been there since the 80s when they were winning their Super Bowls, and that the power plant has always been there and that hasn't affected. That is true. But over the years, and especially with how these power plants are built and how things get upgraded, the radiation that's exerted from these things can increase. And because of those issues, and because you're both playing games at Levi's and also your practice facility is right next to this, radiation can deteriorate muscle. Because radiation can deteriorate muscle, that can contribute to a lot of the injuries that we're experiencing. We've gone through a multitude of medical teams in the last 4 or 5 years, I feel like, because we keep getting injured. And there hasn't necessarily been a solution. Now, they're talking about maybe potentially moving the practice facility. That'd be great. But I don't think the York family really wants to do that. But, yeah, a lot of people think it's controversial. Look, maybe the fact that we're not necessarily going to be in our homes. Well, we're playing 8 games at home. I think for the most part we're playing 4. Is it 4? Let me look at the schedule now. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing back and forths. So we're playing what? 1, 2, 3 straight home games. 4. And then we go up to Lumen. And then we go back, play the Commanders. So out of our first 7 games, we're playing 4 home games and 3 straight home games before we really go on the road after we come back from Melbourne up to Lumen. So there's a high probability that we could get really injured in the first few weeks while we're playing at home. But realistically, the amount of travel that we're going to be doing towards the end of the season could be beneficial for the 49ers if they don't have to practice in their own facility and they have to practice on the road. A lot of players can come back healthier. A lot of players can come back rested. And maybe it could help them make that push that they want to make for the playoffs if we can get there. I think we're going to realistically get there. I'm going to go through the win-loss right now on how the team's going to do. And yeah, this is probably going to be my longest segment of the night. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you like it. Andrew Farmer II. Shout out to my boy, because I have a friend whose name is Andrew fucking Farmer. That is one of my best friends. He's a defensive lineman. I think he played a few snaps last year. Didn't get necessarily a lot of playing time. I really don't know much about him. But hey, like I said, depth. This is his second year in the league with the Niners. He might get a little bit more looks this year, a little bit more opportunities depending on how Raheem Morris feels about him and how things shake out for the defense this year. Luke Farrell, tight end. Luke Farrell's a 6-year veteran, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Farrell is a solid tight end. He was a solid backup for Tonjes. He's actually in my opinion, he's a perfect tight end for that 49er tight end group that we have. He's not necessarily as skillful or as physical as Kittle is when he's out there, but Luke Farrell is a solid tight end who ain't mind getting down and dirty, if you know what I'm saying. I'm a fan of Luke Farrell. Same with Clean Farrell, ladies and gentlemen. Like, guys, Clean's an 8-year vet. He knows what he's doing on the defensive line. He knows what sides to pull. He's experienced with what he has to do. He's a former Raider, now 49er. I thought he was a solid addition when he got him, and frankly, he's really panned out for us, in my honest opinion. Derek Forrest, I don't know much about him. Luke Gifford got a few looks last year. He's a solid linebacker for the Niners. He did a decent job in the absence of Fred, pairing up with Tatum and D. Winters when they were rotating those guys in. Kevin Givens, solid defensive lineman. I cannot stress that John Lynch knows what he's doing when he is drafting defensive linemen, ladies and gentlemen. When he's drafting defensive players, he knows what he's doing. Kevin Givens, or when he's signing these guys, because he might not be drafting them, but he's signing these guys, and he's Omenahu a few years ago, not drafting, Omenahu a few years ago, Cleveland Farrell, Kevin Givens. He didn't draft those guys, but he finds these guys that he can put into our defense, and they actually work. Dre Greenlaw we drafted. Dre Greenlaw has been, I know his injuries have been a deterror, but Dre Greenlaw when he was a part of the 49ers, part of that defense, he was incredible. When his ACL tore, literally just walking onto the field in that Super Bowl against Kansas City, my heart broke because he was the guy that was going to take away Travis Kelce, and I thought we were going to win the Super Bowl. I genuinely thought we were going to win the Super Bowl up until Dre Greenlaw got hurt, and then I was shaky after that. Renardo Green, solid cornerback, ladies and gentlemen. He's developing. He's going to be the guy he's going to be the guy that I ultimately believe could surpass Diamador Lenore, but I don't know. We gotta let him develop. There's a reason why he got a lot of playing time last year. This year, he's gonna get even more playing time. He's developed into the cornerback that we've needed him to be after moving on from Tre'Davious Ward a few years ago, who needed a change of scenery after losing his baby. After moving on from Ambry Thomas, who I thought was also another tremendous cornerback. Renardo Green has been that guy. I literally just talked about Dre Greenlaw. Isaac Guarendo, very curious, because in the year that CMC was injured, Isaac played decently well until he got injured. Maybe the injury set him back a little bit, and after he came back from his injury last year, he wasn't as strong or as fast as he needed to be. He might have been out of shape. But this year, heading into year 3, the fact that he is a player, in my honest opinion, that is similar to CMC in the play style and versatility that they have, who could help lighten up the load for CMC, I think Isaac Guarendo should get a few more looks this year if he comes into the season healthy, and if he wants a second contract, and if he wants to be the workhorse that ultimately takes over for CMC after he retires here in a few years. You never know with CMC. He had a high workload last year. This year, he might not be able to do the same things that he did last year. So we got to be careful there. Nate Hobbs, 6-year veteran, played for the Green Bay Packers. Don't know much about him. Haven't followed much of his career. But he could be solid. Could be a decent addition. Jack Jones, been in the league forever. There's a reason. I think he played for the Patriots at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Jack Jones might be solid. Don't know much about him. Mac Jones. Let's talk about Macaroni Jones, okay? Macaroni Jones, last year as the backup who became the starter for, I think, the majority of the season or whatnot, should have been the quarterback the 49ers drafted when we drafted Trey Lance. The reason why that makes me upset is because we traded away, we traded away 2 first-round picks to go up and get Trey Lance, who we ended up cutting or trading to the Chargers or to the Cowboys for a 4th-round pick at one point. After he only had, I think, he went, 2-2? 1-2 or 1-1 or whatever. Didn't necessarily play for us. Consistently got injured. Got more hurt than the already injury-prone Jimmy Garoppolo, who then later opened up the door for Brock Purdy to now be our franchise quarterback. I'm not complaining about Brock, but Mac should have been the guy we drafted. I thought Mac originally, either Mac or Justin Fields, should have been the quarterbacks that we drafted, because if they wanted a mobile quarterback, Justin Fields went to Ohio State. He was an established quarterback who had played a lot of college games. He did not miss I think he even played in the COVID season. Justin Fields, if they wanted to go for a versatile quarterback that could throw the ball, that could run the ball, it should have been Justin Fields. But if they wanted a standard pocket passer, they should have gone with Mac Jones. And last year, Mac Jones had the opportunity to show you what he could do in the Kyle Shanahan system. Mac Jones, I believe this year, in year 2, if Brock goes out, could have an even better season than he did last year. Mac Jones, if Brock goes out and gets a playoff opportunity, he's got the swagger, he's got the Dougie. I think either Mac or Brock could take us to the Super Bowl, but it's not just on those two guys, on our quarterbacks. What we realistically need is our offense to have consistency, chemistry, and cohesion, stay healthy, and with those offensive pieces, because I think we got good enough offensive pieces. I think we have a good enough team to make a Super Bowl run. I know there's a lot of hype around the Chicago Bears, the LA Rams, the Super Bowl reigning champions, the Seattle Seahawks. Like, I know everybody is on all these other teams' dicks and are literally calling us a franchise in decline. But ladies and gentlemen, when you have Kyle Shanahan, when you have John Lynch, who in my opinion may not draft good first round players, but they draft fourth, fifth, third. They get a variety of later picks right, who develop into being crucial parts of our team. I believe we drafted Brock Purdy. We drafted him. I know he was a 7th round pick. I know they passed up on him like 6 or 7 times. We drafted him. Took us to the Super Bowl. Other teams, a lot of other people can't say that. Kyle Juszczyk, you got to love and respect him. This man is a veteran. He loves the 49ers. He wants to be a 49er until he retires. I think even though, was he a part? Yeah, he was a part of that. His rookie year, he won the Super Bowl with the Ravens. Okay, Kyle Juszczyk won the Super Bowl with the Ravens against the 49ers fucking 14 years ago. I believe it was 14 years ago. I think he was a part of the Ravens. And yeah. No, I think they drafted him. Oh, actually, I think he might retire a 49er. He might retire a 49er. Christian Kirk, experienced veteran, did a tremendous job in Jacksonville. George Kittle, I don't need to say much about George if you're a 49er fan. George Kittle is the embodiment of a 49er pure of heart. Diamonor Lenore, captain, the number one cornerback for the 49ers, even though I still think he has a lot of developing, a lot to be desired. Maybe this year he can ascend and take another step forward. We're gonna go a little bit faster here. Who else? CMC. We need to cut back on his workload this year. Colton McKivitz. Oh, God. Colton last year had a great season, in my honest opinion, considering everything that's happened and considering that I always felt like Colton was the weaker part of our offensive line, aside from if Trent Williams went down and we just had to rely on Colton McKivitz or whatever. Colton McKivitz was not a good right tackle in my opinion. However, last year he stepped it up. He cleaned up a lot of the issues that I had with him, and he played relatively well. Colton McKivitz played relatively well. It only took him about 7 years to develop into the player that he is now. Malik Mustafa, I think he's going to be the starter this year for the 49ers as the others, as either the strong safety or free safety, depending on who plays what side. Malik Mustafa is going to be great. Malik Mustafa is physical. Malik Mustafa has been a great replacement for Talanoa Hufanga, and Malik Mustafa is going to have a tremendous year this upcoming season, I have to believe. Samuel Okoye, I can't pronounce his last name, but he's been solid for the 49ers at the defensive line. Maybe he hasn't been able to get as many sacks as Nick or Fred or all the other guys, but he still does a solid and tremendous job when he plays on our defensive line. And Steady Eddie, fuck yeah. Okay, we'll go back to Ricky here in a second, but Steady Eddie Pinheiro, baby. That motherfucker. I'm glad we locked them up. Didn't miss a field goal within his range. He almost hit that 70+ yarder. Like, Eddie, I am so happy we got him. You guys saw the freakouts. If you've been a fan of N1 from the End Zone, you've seen the freakouts that I had. How many times I would lose it when Jake Moody would go out there to try to kick a field goal in anything that was clutch time, because he was not the guy for the 49ers. And Eddie Pinheiro, the former soccer player, is, and he is solid. We got Steady Eddie Pinheiro, and I'm fucking ecstatic about that. Ricky Pearsall needs to learn how to stay healthy. Dude has what it takes to be a solid wide receiver in the league. He is now clearly the second option behind Mike Evans. But Ricky needs to stay healthy because we cannot rely on Ricky to be healthy through the entirety of the season. First year sucked. Dude got shot. Things happened. Second year he played a little bit more, was a little bit better. Obviously recovering from everything that he had gone through. But this year, Ricky needs to stay healthy, needs to get the playing time that he needs to get. And he really needs to take a step forward because Mike Evans is 32, and Mike Evans cannot be our number one option for a longer time than Ricky. And Ricky, if you want a second contract, because we've played all the wide receivers we've drafted in the first round recently. I think we drafted Brandon in the first, we drafted Debo in the first, we give them second contracts. If you want a second contract, it was Brandon's third year where he broke out for the 49ers. Sir, you need to break out this year for the 49ers as well. Dominic Pooney, I thought he was going to play right tackle. Dude has been a solid right guard for fucking sure. I love me some Dominic Pooney. Give me Dominic Pooney every single fucking day. Bro played at Kansas State. Bro has been incredible for the 49ers at right guard. I know I've seen a couple highlights where he's given up a couple pressures, but realistically in his NFL career, since day one, he's been a solid right guard for the Niners. Coming into year 3, he's going to hopefully be a little bit bigger, be more into his grown man body. And now with his experience, nobody's going to be coming in through that right side. Nobody's going to be coming in through the right side, through the interior right side. Not on Dominic Pooney, in my opinion. Brock, please just stay healthy. That's all I could ask of you. Please just stay healthy. Because if you can stay healthy, and I genuinely believe you can take us on a Super Bowl run. Demarcus Robinson, experienced veteran, doesn't necessarily get a lot of playing time, but again, depth is what we need. Curtis Rourke, a rookie quarterback that we drafted in the 7th round. Another Mac Jones, another Brock Purdy. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy that they could develop as a solid backup, but realistically, I wouldn't put Curtis Rourke out there for any games ever at all. Maybe the preseason, you let the kid go out there, you let him ball out, but has a lot of potential to be a solid backup in the NFL. Not a starter. Jake Tonges, ladies and gentlemen. This man right here, this guy, I love him. Solid solid tight end. Guy that really stepped up for the 49ers last year when George went out. And realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if they re-sign him for the long term. I'm a believer in Jake Tonges, and I'm excited about that. Now, I could go on and on about a lot of these other guys that we have down here, like Trent Williams, Mikael Williams, Zach Hedgel. But let's go into the roster, or let's go into the, where is it? Let's go into our schedule and I'm just going to give you a brief rundown on win-loss record. Week 1, I genuinely believe that we have a very strong possibility of winning that game. I think Fred and Nick are going to be back. I think Mikael Williams is going to be back. Our defense should basically be intact for that game against the Los Angeles Rams in Melbourne, Australia. I think that's going to be a game where the Niners could try a few things against the Rams, or the Rams could try a few things against the Niners, not necessarily showing their full hand. It's week 1. They're going to try a few things. It's going to be one of those test matchups against one another to feel each other out, to see what it looks like later on. I think the Niners can win that game. Week 2, we're going to beat Miami. I believe we're going to beat Miami. With all due respect to Mike Greer and Malik Willis, our defense with Raheem Morris, I think, is going to be not as good as it was under Robert Saleh, but they're going to be still a pretty solid defense with Raheem having a similar style of defense as Robert. I think our offense with Brock, with Mike Evans, with CMC, if he's still coming into the year healthy, with Ricky, who should be coming into the year healthy. Same with Christian Kirk, who is a solid either third or second option, depending on, because they also got Christian Kirk not to just be a second option, a third option. They got him to maybe potentially be a second if Ricky's going to be hurt. So we're deep at wide receiver, in my honest opinion, if we can just stay healthy. So I think we can beat Miami. I think we can beat Arizona. Against Denver at Levi's, I think that's going to be a tougher matchup. Bo Nix is a solid quarterback. Dre Greenlaw's going to want to get his get back against the Denver Broncos. You already know that. I think we can beat the Broncos. I think we have the potential of starting either 3-1 or 4-0. I think our first real loss is going to come against Seattle in Lumen Field, because that is the Legion of Doom. You know that they go crazy out there. Seattle, we got our first loss. We come back week 6. We beat the Washington Commanders in Levi's. At that point, you know what? Let's give week 1 to the Rams. At that point, we'll be 4-2. We'll be 4-2 and probably third in our division. Either 4-2, third in our division, or 5-1 and second in our division behind the Seattle Seahawks. We beat Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, whether it be Kirk Cousins or whether it be Michael Penix Jr. I think we're going to beat Atlanta. I know there's a big hype against for the Las Vegas Raiders because of Fernando Mendoza. Max Crosby's still there. Realistically, I think we beat the Las Vegas Raiders. We're at home. Fernando Mendoza's a rookie. Raheem Morris is an experienced coach. Our defense, if they can stay healthy, and again, I know we're playing a lot of our home games at home at the start, and there's the whole radiation and everything. But we've been a very injury-prone team. We finished, I think, third in our division. Excuse me. No. We finished second in our division last year, so our schedule is going to be a little bit harder. But it's the Las Vegas Raiders and a rookie quarterback and a rookie, not a rookie head coach. I think he is a rookie head coach. He is a rookie head coach. So Clint Kubiak. Or was he the coach? No, he was the coach of the Saints, and then he went last year to the Seahawks, and now he's again the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. So, with all that being said, we beat the Las Vegas Raiders. At that point, we'll be we'll be at the very least 7-1 or 7-2. I think we'll be 7-2. That's loss. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins, 2 losses. By week 9, we'll be 6-2. Cowgirls at AT&T Stadium. That's gonna be a game. I don't know why that's not like the game of the week. In my honest opinion, I think we beat the Cowboys. I love beating the Cowboys. They ain't gonna win nothing. I don't think they're gonna win it. We're going to beat the Cowgirls. We're going to beat the Cowgirls. We're going to be 7-2 at that point. 7-2. Hopefully second or third in the NFC West. I haven't looked at the Seahawks or the Rams schedule to really be able to determine where we'll be. But realistically, we'll be 7-2. Cowboys are going to be basically... I think the Cowboys this year have the potential to be 8-8. Oh, no, Cowboys defense, they upgraded tremendously. That game could be a lot closer, and we could actually lose to the Cowboys with Dak Prescott. You know what? I'm going to give us that loss. I'll take that loss. 7-3. I'll give you the Cowgirls a win that week, week 10. We come back. We're going to go to Mexico. We're going to play Minnesota. Minnesota's going to be playing Kyler Murray, and you got, damn, we might actually go on a bit of a losing streak. We might lose back-to-back games. So we have the potential of either being 7-2 against the Cowboys or 6-3, then 6-4. No, we're going to be 7-3. We beat the Cowboys. We're going to be 7-2, beat the Cowboys. Then we're going to be 7-3, lose to Minnesota because I'm a believer in Kyler Murray. I think he's going to be able to elevate that team with Justin Jefferson, with Aaron Jones, with Naylor, with all the players that they have out there. I think we can beat depending on how the season is going for Seattle. I think because they're going to be on a tough schedule this year because they're the reigning Super Bowl champions. I think we can beat Seattle week 12. We won't beat them up in Lumen, but I think we can beat Seattle week 12 in our home stadium. At that point, it'll be a push, hopefully, and we'll be 8-3. We'll be 8-3 in week 12. 8-3, and hopefully first or second in our division at that point. Then we play the New York Giants, who are gonna be better this year with John Harbaugh, but I still think are gonna come up short. That'll be a 9-3 record for us. Then we play the Rams at home, 10-3, solidifying us as the number 1 team in the NFC West. We play the Chargers at SoFi. I think Jim Harbaugh. Mike McDaniels. They got a solid defense. I think we beat the Chargers, go 11-3, but lose to the Chiefs. Go 11-4, lose to the Eagles, go 11-5, and then ultimately, actually no, we're playing the Eagles at home. We might finish 11-4 or 11-5, and then depending on where we are in the standings, that Arizona game, we might be resting players because we've already made the playoffs, and we might be either the number 1, 2, or 3 seed. But I genuinely believe that we have an opportunity to win a lot of these games. Once I really start doing deep dives into the NFL season this year. No, but realistically, ladies and gentlemen, once I'm able to actually do a deep dive on my beloved 49ers and just the NFL season this year, I'll be able to actually confirm. This is my way too early predictions, depending on everything that I currently know about my 49ers and just my optimistic view of things. With that being said, guys, we have kind of reached the end of this episode. Let's start off with some let's end with some empowering with positivity. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a second here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been almost 5 or 6 months since I did my last episode of N1 from the End Zone. I think it was with January the Artist, that the last official episode that I did of N1 from the End Zone. The reason for that being is because I just started working a lot. I got 2 jobs. I have a family. I got 2 beautiful baby girls who I'm celebrating their birthdays this upcoming weekend together. Both are May babies. I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky to have them. I have a beautiful wife, Doris. She's incredible. She's been amazing, taking care of my girls. And because of all those factors, I've just been working 2 jobs, trying to support them. I literally work about 6 days a week right now, or I used to be 6 days. I cut back one of my jobs. I'm only doing 1 right now, just because I do want to focus more on making content. And with 1 job right now, I'm very blessed to be able to support my family after having to catch up on a lot of bills. So for the next few months, or for however long I can, we're going to be doing N1 from the End Zone again. Maybe it's once a week, maybe it's multiple times a week, but we're going to be bringing you guys content again. And just remember to never give up on your dreams. I know I haven't been doing N1 from the End Zone, but you've seen Sonic Waves on my channel. You've seen Shady Mob Podcast. You've seen Port City Uncensored, another affiliate of N1, of the Shady Mob production company. I appreciate all the love and support, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Always remember, desire is power. If you guys desire to be great, you have the power to be great. I really, really do appreciate y'all for embarking on this journey with us, and we're going to be bringing a lot more content for you guys. So thank you all for everything, for your love, your support, especially the people out there who you know who you are, for all the support y'all have shown us and given us. Thank you. Thank you, and just chase your dreams. Love y'all. I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Let's ride. Yeah. Yeah, this the N1, the end zone vibe. King N.P.V, let's ride, let's thrive. Sports, wrestling, good vibes collide. Mic's on fire, now step inside. Go. Crack of the bat, roar of the crowd. Wrestling mats where they rumble loud. Flipping scripts like a suplex flip. This ain't no bandwagon, loyalty's legit. N1, where the heat gets spoken. Positivity rules, no lanes get broken. From the court to the ring, every word a swing. Dropping wisdom on the mic like a championship ring. Lace your kicks, feel the beat, stay bold. Fuel for your soul like the Midas hold. In one thunders, new storylines unfold. Where the game is untold. In the end zone, ain't no clone. King N.P.V coming tooth and stone. Energy electric sparks off the dome. This the anthem for your sports loving home. Call the plays, breaking huddles of doubt. Royal Rumble words, hear the king shout. Airwaves on fire, every line's legit. Throwing haymakers, yeah, never gonna quit. Catching stories, unscripted thrill. Sweat soaked mat, gritted orange hills. More spin than a double turn heel. Positive